So quick update on the objectives if anybody didn't catch it. So the 3 objectives that are out so far are the 8 resources, 6 non-home planets, and 5 trade goods. TG Welch, the only one able to grab a public objective there. But Scooter was able to grab his secret objective drawn at the beginning of the game, 3 adjacent to an anomaly. So we see a little bit of a victory point pickup there in the first round.
So first pick of this strategy phase for round 2. TG Welch has taken trade, looking to make some dough. Doesn't want anybody else making all that money. I think he assumes R-Weiss will be taking Lodor, wiping out that cruiser for him, and giving him some separation from Mantis.
Now, he doesn't have guild chips. Do you think that having 2 neighbors is going to be enough with that trade pickup, or is he going to be looking to make neighbors before popping trade this round?
Oh, no. He's going to probably communicate with R-Wise to take Lodor before he pops it. Or he will eliminate whatever's in. He's not popping that until that cruiser's gone. So
the cruiser's gone. You're referring to, of course,
if you don't take it, I will.
Mantis's cruiser on this alpha hole.
Yes. Yeah, he's over there to make trade relations, but also to steal some trade goods. So R-Weiss and TG are going to work out how they eliminate that problem.
Man, I think Snorcer is going for Mecatol.
Because I believe Mantis does have, and Mantis has pillage, so obviously they're not going to want to remain neighbors with Mantis throughout this game.
I didn't think about going for Mecatol, but now I am.
And the Mantis may elect to just make his first activation to back off of that position into the other alpha because he knows it's coming, right? He knows that they're going to be looking to wipe that cruiser out just so they can trade without him pillaging. So what do? Maybe you save the cruiser. So you at least back him off into the alpha wormhole, and then whoever's on Lodor, you're still stealing from.
So you're saying Mantis should look at that cruiser as worth a token to save, and he can plug up that alpha wormhole.
Yes, because if they destroy it, he'll have to spend a token to move something into the alpha next to his home system anyway to be able to pillage through it. Now, yeah, so he's got tech. I mean, there's a lot of value. You got to take tech at that point if it's there sitting there. An earlier initiative would have been great to save that cruiser, but that cruiser's not worth coughing up something like the technology strat card.
Absolutely. So we do see a politics pickup by Snorcer, Wham Dog going ahead and grabbing construction here, and then we have diplomacy, trade, and imperial left for R-Wise. Are you looking for R-Wise to probably pick up imperial here? Because I'm thinking he's going to skip to grab drive in order to grab Mecatol. So...
Oh yeah, maybe he thinks he can just run over whoever lands in at Mecatol. But if I was him, I would probably run something like Warfare. It's like Leadership Light, gives you an extra token, which we also know he has trouble getting a hold of, and also lets you move more of those Litani soldiers around.
I almost took Dimensional Splicer.
He's really mulling over this decision, though, isn't he?
But here's the thing, too, is you also have the opportunity of, like, diplomacy isn't that bad. If you take Lodor, build some stuff, pop diplomacy on a Biz Freya.
An extra 5 resources.
And they get an extra 5 resource. And it's got a trade good on it, right? So you can count that as like a 6 resource come up. And then the next move you make, you can build a kin. So diplomacy really helps him get that valuable flagship or plastic on the board. But he's elected to go with Imperial here, thinking that he's
Now, do you like that? Planets. Do you think that it's a mistake?
I do. I do think it's a mistake. You really only want to take the Imperial if you can score 2 objectives in 1 round. I don't think that he should plan on getting the 5 trade goods objective. That's a little bit out of reach. Slightly more in reach because he gets a trade good whenever he takes a planet.
some time.
8 resources,
If anything,
he could
what I want
definitely
is for you
just... That's a
send me
ton
a
of
ship and
resources
I'll
to
give you
spend this
stuff
early,
for that
right?
gravity drive.
That's something I would like to put off.
So that I can
Like,
take
let
it.
me take my 6 planets
being
first.
bold.
Let me take what I'm due as the biggest muscle on this board. Let me take that first. And then let me spend these resources after I've grabbed the land.
So do you feel with that Imperial pick, he's actually going to be hurting in trying to acquire Lodor, which rightfully should be his, right?
It's a point.
No, I think he's not going to have any problem, Lodor. TG Welch doesn't want any parts of Lodor. He wants Arweiss to take that and have it forever so that he's not getting pillaged through it by the Mantis. So he's completely down with that.
So we do see Welch with that telepathic ability, jumping out, grabbing Mecatol. He's going to grab a point. He is going to spend both a Zehan Kornique and a trade good. He's only moving a carrier and a ground force in.
Yeah, he did.
But he grabs that point.
Yeah, he's done
So
it
he's essentially
just for the
saying a
point.
token, a carrier, and a ground force is worth a point. I probably won't hold on to it.
Hurt, but I
And
don't mind you eating that.
now,
Well, I have a lot less options now that I don't have Mecatol on the...
and so now the dude with telepathic has a free point, right? So the cat with telepathic is kind of scary because they win first. They win no matter what their strat card is. When it comes to winning time, they win faster than everybody else. Other than the cat who has Imperial and can win in the round. Or an action phase secret, barring those things. I think what we can expect here, long game, I feel like TG is going to have to get eliminated. We're a long ways away here. But he's already grabbing. He's got 2 points on the board. He's got one of the more difficult ones in 6 planets. There's 2 economic ones out there that aren't difficult to get. Like he's stacking up points and he's telepathic.
Oh shit! I wanted
And he's getting technology. He'll have E-Res soon as well. Like so, he's doing it
I
all
guess it won't happen.
and getting a lot of points on the board. So the thing of his problem is that the guy to his left has unstoppable ground force fleets.
Right.
And
this supernova really isn't going to be much of a problem. He's going to go around. He's going to be staged in Lodor.
Yeah.
Welch has a very thinly spread fleet here, essentially guarding his system just with the ground forces on the planets because these single ships in his systems mean next to nothing.
And here's why I feel like Arweiss should have gone ahead and taken Warfare.
Talk to me. I tried to talk about
because
so now we have a different conversation.
With Warfare or Diplomacy, either one gives the money. But with Warfare, he could have moved into Lodor, spent 5 resources, and picked up like a Dreadnought and
so it's really just Snorcer,
a Destroyer, right? So, and then move that from Lodor into Bareglerda. Bomb, take at least a planet, get yourself another trade good, close to that, and then close. And then TG really wouldn't be able to do anything about it. He just doesn't have the stuff right now to be able to test it.
It sounds like you're saying that was kind of a significant mistake from Arweiss during the strategy phase with that selection of Diplomacy, Warfare, and Imperial. Imperial for you is last on the list, and that's the one he went with.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be rushing scoring the points because scoring those points has the inherent cost of not being able to do what the other cards do. And really, this early in their game, he's like a little larva, right? And as a larva, he's saying, I'm going to go score all these points as a larva, when he should be focused on, like, I need to mature.
Become a butterfly first.
I need to blossom
and then
into something.
Fly those butterfly wings into the points.
There you go. And the other cards give him a greater ability to do that, in my estimation.
And also a greater ability to do something about TG Welch, who is now sitting on Mecatol Rex and is out to 2 points early.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then you hurt the guy who is jumping out to an early lead with telepathic. I mean, he's a straight-up threat. Like, he's got the ability galactic threat. Right now he is. Whether or not they see it remains to be seen. But now his biggest problem is that he's next to the dude with space docks, moving space docks, and the guy with moving space docks in Latani's soldier. So
Well, it appears that Matt recognizes the threat from TG Welch, or he just wants to move in and establish some presence. Now, there are 2 ground forces on both of Zehan, but he's moving 3 ground forces in, so it looks like he is expecting to acquire one of these planets. Now, how he is going to get one of those planets with, or how he's going to get all 3 of those ground forces there, I'm not exactly sure. He must be looking to move into the carrier. But we do see an offer of support for the throne early round 2 from TG Welch in order to stop this advance from a very powerful floating factory scooter.
Well, yeah, and TG's trying to do anything he can right now to save himself, really.
Oh my god.
Planets later,
and
where you don't even have to worry about losing.
And really, honestly, I hope that Matt does not fall for this. TG's really good at being real cool and nice and making you not want to do bad stuff to him when you really should. And right now is one of those moments that Matt should just come on in there, say, hey man, I'm just going to take a couple planets.
I'm gonna
cool.
keep having action cards for
and then do it, even if you're not.
If you eliminate him, there's no more research.
Well, I'm definitely with you on that, to be honest. I think Matt should not fall for this, because what is a support right now? A support is, hey, never attack me for the rest of the game. Because if you take that support, it is worthless. You can't do anything about TG Welch, and he's actually agreeing to do it. This is a little bit of a surprising turn of events for me.
Yeah.
I think this is the absolute wrong move by Matt here.
Well, he says that he'll send him a technology later. All right, so
it's not just the support.
He's given him a support straight up and says that he's going to throw him a technology. Of course, having made the trade, he could totally not ever do it if he wanted to. And just say, no, you can get gravity drive somewhere else.
And instead, what we see from Matt is a little bit of a... what's the word I'm looking here? So he is moving some other units in order to protect that space dock. Okay. I was worried he was just moving a space dock, grabbing this equidistant that he has between himself and Mantis, but he is going to defend that space dock, and then probably looking to produce something. Looks like he's going to spend 4 resources combined, or 3 combined with Sarween to build a dreadnought is what he's thinking about here. No, he's actually going to buy some ground forces instead.
Yeah, and he's straight allied up. I mean, not allied up, but I mean he's
support for free.
Because I have 2 trade.
He's made an agreement really to never touch TG here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, Chicken Trips. Very shocking that Matt did that as well.
I tried.
So TG Welch getting away with a little bit there, I think.
Yeah. Here's the thing,
though.
though.
Super cool deal, but
you jump into a slice, you start some kind of an engagement that maybe you don't really want to finish. TG's got a lot of resources. He's got trade. He can put plastic on the board. You know what I mean? So TG does have some things going for him. The only thing that stops him is if you just say, I'm going to eliminate you today.
Both of you.
I'm going to murder you right now.
Tyler,
that's the only thing that really slows him down. So if you're not going to do that, if you're not willing to make that investment, why not take the support?
About it.
Why not back off? Now, I got to get grab drive. So if you're saying I don't come, you'll give me the support and you toss me gravity drive?
All right.
Cool. Let's do it.
Grab drive is too important. Put the onus back on Arwise to do something about TG Welch is what you're saying.
Really, yeah. And Arwise really doesn't have much option but to. He's got nowhere to go but into TG Welch and over to Wham Dog. He's going to look to spread in both directions.
So we do see a very early, typical, of course, standard, but an early construction pop here from Wham Dog, which is, of course, Hunter, and deploying a very forward space dock on Arnor with that construction. And then I believe, yes, he also dropped a PDS, excuse me, on his home system as well. And then, do you see any follows on construction here? It says that Arwise does not.
Sorry, I just got back, and I'm maybe about to do construction, but Mantis.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing any construction.
He's doing chaos mapping, and then he's going to decide.
Construction secondary here.
Well,
so that brings us over to Mantis.
Yeah, Hunter already paid me to pop it.
And apparently, Whamdog/Hunter did pay Mantis at some point in order to go ahead and pop technology. Now he is going to use Mulprimus,
Super Dread 2, and
or excuse me,
for,
yes, Mulprimus in order to Chaos Map in a Dreadnought.
I'm gonna blue skip for Exotriremes 2 and green skip for the Hyper.
Wow. So I mean,
Tyler, what are you getting?
we're hearing some gas come out on the board right now. We'll cover it all once they've all picked.
But you do see, of course, a Super Dread 2 pickup from Mantis,
Along with Duranium armor.
along with Duranium armor. So Mantis becoming a powerhouse very early, and in preparation for that, very smartly Chaos Mapping twice 2 Dreadnoughts onto his home system as well.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
But even then, research agreement
he's
doesn't
building
let
an
you
army.
copy.
He's
very-
amassing an army.
Very big moves there.
Which is smart. That you need that kind of firepower when you got these floating factories knocking on your door. You need something that's going to make them think twice.
If you read the research agreement, it says specifically non-faction tech.
So,
Like
I mean, we can try to populate this tech, but it takes so long to...
Because if you give Necro, it's the same outcome.
Sorry, 1 second, my internet just...
That's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot.
Oh, I got Graviton.
So we'll go ahead and
So Jill, now
get
you're
it
just gonna
started,
roll?
but
Right.
we might not be able to populate this as well because of
Who's
all the
Jill
other things
R?
that we're populating. It looks like we do have a drop though from R-Wise.
Where's your name? It's not written down.
Jocknar.
Sorry, it's the
That's me.
universities.
I'm
of
the
Iowa
Jocknar.
State. I got
So we'll be looking for R-Wise to jump back into the server here.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
So just to remind everyone, I have Exotriremes 2 now, so that's a thing.
All right.
Jesus.
So while we
Password
wait,
again?
on our why are you yellow?
Maybe we shouldn't have
Just fooling
said
around.
that.
Okay.
That was a thing.
I want to jump in this Franken.
Let's make sure we set the limit to 8.
Hey, Mantis.
So we've got, my goodness.
Will you set
Sorry.
the server limit to 8?
I want to pop trade. Do you want me to just do an even wash for you?
Wait. I gotta do something. Because I got booted.
Yeah, this is actually going to be too much. We're just going to have to
till
look at their
yellow.
text as we go.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um,
And then, I
take
mean,
an
that's
hour
easy.
to
Just
do.
take a snap. Go in there, take a snapshot.
Also, I love that my only green tech is Hyper, and I never got the research agreement.
I guess I'll fucking go for Mecatol, right? Yeah.
So we've got Gravity Drive, Sarween Tools, and Neuromotivator. From TG Welch, whose turn it currently is. Now, he did make that crazy deal with Scooter Matt.
Go for the biscuit.
Not sure what he'll be looking to do on this turn.
Saying goes.
Oh, it's not actually his turn. They just didn't pass it back to R-Wise. Okay,
No,
now it's back on R-Wise. Here we go.
R-Wise has... I feel like he played a flank speed.
So we'll just have to fight.
Yeah, how did he get there?
Let's see what's his tech looking like.
He doesn't have Grav Drive.
Yeah, he did get Grav Drive.
It's just not out on his board yet.
Yeah, not out on his
There it
board.
is. Okay.
Because, yeah, like I said, from round one, he took
This is the
Tibba,
first fight
looking
of
to
the
use
game.
that blue skip to take Gravity Drive. That lets him get out of his slice a little bit.
I see.
And then he'll also be able to shift his other carrier over to snag Lodor.
Now
And this is a great move. I mean, because Mecatol Rex is not in your slice.
Oof,
It's free game.
that hurts.
Alright.
And oh my goodness, a little bit of worry probably coming down for R-Wise here though, because he does flub the roll and get hit by TG Welch's lone carrier.
Yeah, he's still got the odds here.
Yeah, it would suck to lose. I'm gonna do a morale boost.
Not comforting. So
God, he's 2 for 2.
a little bit of a fifth point of
Aw,
contact
disappointing.
clinch.
Good thing I used the
I'm
morale
sure
boost.
though. But he does go ahead and roll a hit with his
Didn't matter.
fighter in round 2. Now 2 hits though from that carrier of TG Welch, eliminating both of those fighters.
Yeah.
And you've probably got to be a little bit worried about these 2 ground forces landing against Welch's only lone ground force after his carrier did so well. So here we go into the combat. We've got no hit from TG Welch, and we do have one of those Latani hits, which
And this is
obviously
great.
those Latanis are so powerful.
This is great for R-Wise because he also gets Daxiv. He gets to place another ground force. Now he gets to produce with those ground forces. He should probably elect to get like 2 more ground forces.
And he's got Indoctrination with those 3 ground forces that are sitting there. So he has Mecatol, locked up for the foreseeable future, and with that Imperial Strategy card pick, he's obviously going to grab another point this round. Well, I suppose his first point this round. Is he going to be looking to score any public objectives while he does this as well? I don't think so,
It doesn't look like it, and it's okay. I mean, the value in having taken it is, well, he'll probably, he's not going to get 6 planets, I don't think. He'd have to take too many planets for that.
He is going to go ahead and drop 2 more ground forces, and then do you agree with this destroyer pick? I guess it's something.
No, I like it.
You like it?
So here's the thing is, he doesn't have Sarwing yet, and he wasn't looking to spin the farm, but he's put enough down there now, like, when he activates Mecatol Rex again, he can put a ton of plastic there. Nobody's coming. Nobody's touching me. Mecatol Rex is mine for the foreseeable future. The only person who could even think about taking it from him is Scooter. He's about the only person that has what it takes anytime soon to take Mecatol from him.
Right.
So
TG Welch is working out his trade pop right now, and we can recap that because they're obviously working out all of the deals.
You end up 5 for 3.
But in the meantime, NMRV is looking for a recap on the Franken abilities, so we pulled that up on screen.
If you just refresh both of us and we do a 4 for 4.
Let's start with Snorcerer.
In Mantis's favor, and he's got his 5.
Pretty good, pretty standard Snorcerer stuff. Analytical, you get the Jolnar tech skip, right? When you research text, you can skip any one prerequisite. That lets you get more gains through technologies faster. Brilliant. That means when somebody pops tech, you get to do the primary instead of the secondary. So you could double tech or spin 1 token and get a free tech. So he's got a lot of what makes Jolnar great. He's packing. He's got guild ships, which lets him make transactions with people who are not his neighbors. Which is great because it pretty much means you get cut in on any trade that anytime trades pop, you're gonna get cut in on that deal. You're not missing out because you're getting because you're everybody's neighbor, right? He's got the Jolnar flagship, which rolls a couple of dice that hit on 6s, and if they roll a natural 9 or 10, they do 3 hits. So can actually do 6 hits in a round if you get really lucky. Got the L1Z1X strategy card, which is cybernetic enhancements, means he can give you one of his strat tokens. Not hugely sellable, generally speaking, but there is a production biomes faction tech out there, so you can actually hack cybernetic enhancements by making a relationship with a person with production biomes. Also has quantum data hub nodes, so when it gets late, he'll be able to snatch that
as soon as
snatch that
washed,
8 or 1 if he needs it.
So real quick, take a look at the flagships. I did accidentally do this. So what are the flagships that we have from Red and Green?
TG Welch has
the Son of Ra. Okay, he's actually got the SAR flagship.
Yep.
Here we go.
Stole my well.
Sorry about that. Thanks for that. Thanks for that catch there, Jaybird.
So yeah, that's pretty much Snorcerer in a nutshell. Looking at Wham Dog.
Well, let's go ahead and... Nope, they're still working on the trade here. That's fine.
Alright, so looking at Wham Dog. He's got Unrelenting, +1 all his combat rolls. Stall Tactics means he can discard an action card and stall for a turn. Quantum Entanglement lets him get to the wormholes, which he has nowhere near him. So there's not a ton of value with that right now. Maybe there will be some later. He's got the Extra flagship,
Assuming
which
that
is
Hunter's
great
into
because it
that.
has those PDS
Put him
cannons
into
shooting
what?
out of it. It's a really
3 for
solid
4 with
flagship.
me.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
Barony's promissory note, which is war
Just gonna
funding,
have to wait
gives
for
somebody
either of our
some
turns.
re-rolling on the combat rolls for their ships for a round.
We're done.
Also packing Spec Ops 2 and Magion implants, so a lot of green tech there, and of course Spec
I
Ops
just
2 are
realized I
awesome.
forgot to spend my token
Okay.
for text.
So with that, it looks like mostly trade has concluded
Guys, I gotta take my pup outside. I'll be right back.
for TG Welch.
All right.
I'm just gonna do. Man, I'm like one. Solid
And he made some money. He actually didn't make a ton.
That actually reminds me, though, we do need to update the points here because Scooter did acquire
The Mecatol point.
um,
Oh no.
that, what do you call it? The support for the throne from TG Welch.
Yeah, and TG Welch scored the Mecatol point, so he's up to 2 as well. And be ready for R. Weiss to score his first point off of Imperial.
Okay.
So we are on to Matt's turn, or Scooter, our green, not really Sardak. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and pop leadership here.
Follow for 2.
I will buy 1.
Which makes sense. He is a little bit down on these tokens, and it looks like he's going to combine some of his planets with a couple of trade goods here in order to grab 4 tokens instead of just the 3 from the leadership strategy card.
Yeah, he's got great planets. Really, they have a lot of influence, which is cool when you have all those docks you're trying to move around, and to be able to take those extra actions. Especially if you combo that up with Sarween, which he's got,
That was your
Sarween
turn,
tools. So he's got a pretty good economy, really.
so Hunter, you wanna
especially
do
now
3
that
for
he's
4?
taken all of his
Yeah.
slice.
Absolutely he
Do you
does, and
mind
especially
taking one
taking
of my
that.
commodities, please?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was his equidistant
Yay, thank
that in Tech on Torcron.
Yeah.
Techron Torcron.
So Hunter, you've
They
got
ended up
3
getting
and
placed
you
out here.
no more commodities.
And he did contribute
Wait, you still owe me 2.
How
some
can we- where are we
ground
breaking
forces
that,
and
though?
fighters on that build
I
after
have
moving
the
that floating
Hakan thingy.
factory.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, it looks here
Yeah,
like
it's
Mantis and
Frankendraft.
Snorcerer have probably made some kind of an
Who still owes you
arrangement
2?
to be
What?
able to
Purple does.
score the 6 planets.
Oh.
Mantis allowing Snorcerer to grab that yellow skip planet well in first, so that Snorcerer could have 6 planets, and then I imagine Mantis planning on moving in afterwards to get
Okay, so on my turn,
his 6 planets. So really looking to both score what they
Have
can
lots of
without
stuff to
starting a
do.
fuss over it.
I'm just gonna go for politics.
Do you think Mantis got
And,
anything out of that trade?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's an agreement that Mantis will be the second one. He's going to take 2 of those planets
yeah,
back.
so Mantis. Usually it's 2 for speaker, but since you're gonna pillage, it's not really cool. And I think you don't want to give me trade goods anyways.
Yeah, I have 5,
makes
so I
sense.
can't give it anyway.
Yeah.
So Snorcer are trying to work out some sort of deal with Mantis for speaker token, but it looks like Mantis isn't particularly interested.
Snorcer's always trying to make
Yeah,
a buck.
I guess I'll just
Right.
take the speaker then.
And really, right now, Mantis isn't looking to spend any because he
And
wants to
then
spend all his
I
trade
will
goods on the
do
point.
thing.
And with Chaos Mapping and Super
I
Dread
forgot
2s, he
to
is set up to say,
that.
go ahead and try to mess with me and see what happens.
Why does it keep? Whatever.
I don't know,
I-
something broke bugged with it, I think.
Yeah.
So Snorcer, of course, he is going to keep the speaker token, and then we'll see what he does with these agenda cards.
I'm gonna do both at the bottom because those are lame.
Feeling that both of these cards are not to his liking, he's going to dump both of the agenda cards on the bottom of the deck. So for the first agenda phase that we have here at the end of round 2, we will be seeing, or we and the players will be seeing 2 completely unknown agenda cards.
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, and with that, we will move over to
All right,
Wham
my
Dog, who is, of course, Hunter from Space Cats Peace Turtles.
Gonna activate
And it looks like he is going to go ahead and grab lore, and then probably look for him to build a little something off of that very forward space dock on Arnor that he ended up building as his first action on this round as well.
Laser and Saculag, and
Now, he is not lacking in the technology department either. So as he builds, we'll go ahead and recap what he's building on that forward space dock. But you can take a look at his technology here. He's got Sarween tools. He's got Graviton laser, which he does have 2 PDS on his home system as well that are PDS2s. Plasma scoring for an extra die, anti-mass deflector, and Nora motivator. So his home system is reasonably protected considering that all there is present is just that one fighter. He will go ahead and add a carrier and 2 ground forces off of this build as well. So 1 token, acquires lore, adds a carrier and a couple of ground forces to that dreadnought. Pretty decent move there.
Oh no! What you doing?
From Wham Dog. He's gonna go ahead and pass the turn over to Mantis. Mantis, ooh, interesting. So we do see, and Se7en and I were talking about this earlier, but we were kind of expecting
I need 6 planets.
a deal had been made in order for Snorcer to keep and hold 6 planets, but it looks like whatever that deal was, either there was no deal or he's going back on it because he's looking to acquire these planets as well, moving in 2 Super Dread 2s from Mantis, correct? Yes, 2 Super Dread 2s, a couple of ground forces and a fighter as well. Probably going to bombard both of these planets and take them, no problem, because he does also have plasma scoring. With those Super Dread 2s, he's also got Duranium armor, so he is absolutely not worried about losing anything here to this 1 carrier of Snorcer. Snorcer lands no hits.
Oh yeah, baby.
And Mantis does land 2 hits.
2 ground forces.
I'm
just glad you did that after I got hyper.
I'm sorry, no. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Mantis lands 2 hits.
If you had done it before I got
No, Mantis does not land any hits. Okay, I'm reading this a little bit wrong. Mantis lands 0 hits, and so does Snorcer. So Snorcer is able to retreat out of there with the ground forces and the carrier. There are no kills, but in order to acquire that 6th non-home system objective, Mantis moves in, drops a couple of ground forces, and he's essentially all set here
parlay or reparations.
for the status phase scoring.
So enjoy
And he does need it because, as we can see, Mantis does not have any points currently.
Hey, Tyler,
That will move us back over to R-Wise, our very powerful yellow player, who is also scoreless right now, but he is sitting on Mecatol, and he does have the Imperial Strategy card as well.
his mouse is moving.
Now, with that Mecatol again, 5 ground forces, Latanis, he's got Indoctrination, looking to hold on to Mecatol for a long time until somebody wants to make some sort of very heavy-handed play. I'm not sure how they're even going to stop R-Wise from doing whatever he wants on Mecatol here. Now, Se7en did say that this Imperial pick was a mistake. He did pick last and chose to overlook warfare and diplomacy, but it is going to score him a point there.
I mean, I can't stop you from moving in. Are you offering to give me something to do something? I'm confused.
So it looks like he's negotiating with Mantis about this cruiser on the Alpha system because R-Wise does have gravity drive, so he could move in and take Lodor, which is rightfully his. And there's really nothing Mantis can do about it. But this could be staging a future in which, through this Alpha, a very powerful Mantis and R-Wise player do go to blows. So he's going to go ahead and move in a carrier, 3 fighters, a destroyer, and the 1 ground force. Mantis will go ahead and skilled retreat. So he's going to blow a skilled retreat action card in order to save this cruiser and plug up this Alpha wormhole. And if, as you may remember, Mantis does also have pillage. So he does remain neighbors with R-Wise, saves a cruiser. Actually a very convenient pickup of skilled retreat and a very good use of it here from Mantis.
I'll take one of your commodities to be nice.
He is stealing a commodity somehow. I don't know if there was another deal made at some point. But regardless, R-Wise does go ahead and pick up Lodor here.
I don't know. I'll figure something out later.
Really good play
When
from
did that
both
cruiser
players,
get
honestly.
into the alpha?
He just skill retreated.
Skill retreated.
Oh shit. Okay.
Here, you're trying to get to 5.
That's the
Con.
plan.
Would you essentially sell your trade agreement? So, I can give you 4 for your trade agreement and your 2 commodities, and I pillage one back. You end up with 5. I get your trade agreement.
Yeah, but I owe Tyler 1.
So even though R-Wise did move in here, go ahead and take that space, which is rightfully his. They are working at a deal,
Oh, okay.
because R-Wise does have some leftover commodities,
I guess we can figure this out.
and Mantis, you know, would like to get a trade good maybe for go ahead and watching those.
I guess stealing
For
your commodity
R-Wise.
did do you a favor, because if I stole your trade good, you could just give him a commodity.
Matt, let's just talk in the interest
Sure.
of time. So, I'm agreeable. I won't send you the carrier though. I can just send you the cruiser, and then I'm just gonna have to score the 8 this round.
So that does bring us over to TG Welch. He is kind of mulling over his options here
Should've taken
in about the middle of round 2. Now he is essentially in the lead, tied for the lead
Is that
with
fine? Is
Scooter,
that gonna-
but
With all the other parts of the trade too, or what were your thoughts?
he is probably
There's a lot
looking
of
to be
parts.
able to pick up 6 planets at the end of this round,
Got it.
which he does qualify for. Or did he pick up that already? No, he did not. Okay. So he is definitely looking to try and hold these 6 planets.
I can give you something else. Here.
Now, Scooter, who he has made deals with already, and who also does hold TG Welch's support for the throne, does also have Arbiters, which is going to allow him
I'll do that.
to trade action cards as part of transactions.
We can
And it
just
looks
swap.
like TG Welch is trying to work something out with him here. So neither of them have
Suiciding a cruiser.
tech singularity.
Okay.
Oh no,
No start action.
Green does have tech singularity, so it must have been
Here.
part of the deal
So,
for not
yeah,
taking
so
down both the
there's
Zehan that he was
I'm
going to
thinking
give him
it's-
a support, an action card, and also spend a token to fly a cruiser in there to get destroyed to give him a technology. Essentially selling his soul to hold on to Delbotha Zehan here.
Just to make sure Mantis's grubby fingers aren't
Incredible.
all over me.
I mean,
Oh, that's
Let me
cool.
see.
honestly, a Scooter, you have to take that deal. Even with Welch ahead with 2 points, a lot of game left here to play, and a lot of benefit to had by TG Welch, giving you all of this just to hold on to this,
So
to
you're
the
sending
system
that,
of
you're giving
Delbotha
me this,
Zehan here.
I'm giving you this after you.
Now, what action card this is, we
Right.
do not know.
It's all good.
Tell you what, Matt, if you give me your ceasefire, I will not pillage you for as long as I hold your ceasefire.
And for some reason, Mantis stepping in here trying
Like
to
as
soon
get
as you're
Scooter's
as soon as you're trying to get
ceasefire
back,
from
I'll
him.
stop pillaging you.
But it's not even Scooter's turn. But Scooter's turn is coming up right after this
Ceasefire swap with
this
that out
exchange
deal?
between TG Welch
No.
and Scooter.
Okay, then I would pillage you if you just did a transaction.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Alright, you got it.
Roll the cruiser here.
After you've activated, I'm giving you the.
Oh my goodness. Are you joking? So part of the deal apparently was not just giving up support for the throne, they actually made a support swap. Incredible. I'm honestly surprised Matt made all these concessions. He holds all the cards. So we do see a roll here.
I got you.
Green takes out that cruiser. And the cruiser does get a hit, but he will, of course, just eliminate a fighter and then pick up a technology as well. And then they will
Are support swaps happening now? God.
exchange the
Sort of,
support
those
swap,
all
so that is
long
going to bring...
support swap, but now they are
Go ahead
not
and update the tracker here. Which means that... My goodness.
Okay, I will. I'll play unexpected action.
Ooh, okay.
Wow, so we see TG Welch actually moving up to 3 points there. in this support swap scenario, which is
That's my turn.
really surprising that Matt would bother to do that. We see an unexpected action play,
Apparently I forgot my slash for a second.
unexpected
Nice
action
blue.
card played here by
So I
Snorcerer, and I'm not sure where he removed the
assuming
token
there's no
from.
pillage on any step of that, sure.
Okay.
I already put the support for the throne over there, Tyler. You're good. You wanna keep
Yes,
going?
yes, he did, Ruffians. Very shocking,
I'm
right?
gonna have to wait until it's done.
Yeah, very nice work from
to do the
TG
whole
Welch.
thing,
He has a super thin slice. I mean, he's got nothing here, but he has all the points.
So actually, if I build each one of my 6 planet, that's gonna be the issue. So 1 second.
So, oh, it must have been a maybe perhaps it was an unexpected action to
Yeah, that's right.
action card played by Scooter instead. So, Se7en, it was actually a support swap between TG Welch and Scooter here. Very surprisingly. Yes. So, TG Welch making out like a bandit, but, I mean, he's got some pretty big fleets staring him down. Obviously, Matt isn't, or Scooter isn't going to want to lose that support to move into here. So, Rwise is basically poised to have to do something about TG Welch off to this early 3-point lead.
Also, Mantis, by the way, that whisper wasn't much of a whisper.
I know I said that too. I don't know why I did. I forgot the slash.
I just realized that it wasn't a whisper because.
Oh, did he, Ruffians? Okay. So, Scooter did play unexpected action. That was part of the deal that they made so that Welch didn't lose his Debo the Zehan, and he still will be able to qualify for 6 planets. So he's actually going to move up to 4 victory points at the end of round 2 here. Still not sure what Snorcerer is doing. I guess he's kind of mulling over his options. I'm not seeing his hand on the board. Oh, here he is. He's just kind of looking around. Not sure what else he's looking to do here. Snorcerer, honestly, without a lot of options, he does have some. He does have an unexhausted home system he could pretty much use to build with one of his last 2 tokens, and then pass when it comes back around to him. I'm not sure what else he could even be considering here. Well, I suppose he could be looking. He does have gravity drive. He could be considering picking up Saudor if he thinks that he can actually hold it from Wham Dog in order to qualify for that 6 non-home planet objective.
Oh wow!
Wow,
So
turn.
Mantis went ahead. I guess they didn't have a deal set up. I thought that they.
Right.
Yeah, I want to.
Mantis went ahead and just slammed into New Albion Starpoint.
But
there.
you know what?
There
Snorcer
are
had
no
already scored the
public
6
objectives,
planets, right? He
and
scored
it's
that
just last
round
man
1.
standing. And I mean, I didn't realize it
So-
would take
Did he?
several
It
months.
looks. Oh no, that was TG
No.
Welch.
Yeah, Welch
So
did
so
that.
Snorcer is in a little bit of trouble here. Well, he really doesn't have any options on his turn.
Right, because even if he picks up Saudor, that's only 5 planets. I mean, I think he should be looking to just go ahead, activate his home system, build there with 3 resources, and then pass when it comes back around to him. I don't see a whole lot of options here for Snorcerer.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to build at home, and that's really all he can do.
So apparently, Ruffians, they had a deal for Welland, but never specified to leave his other planets alone.
And Mantis said, "Okay, I'll take him."
No, I forgot I can stall.
Oh shit, it's my turn. I'm
And I
so
guess the
sorry.
supports
Oh, Snorcer apparently not even realizing that it was his
That's
turn. He
been
just
a
got the
while,
memo.
I've been just doing nothing.
Everybody just let it. Yeah, so,
I'm sorry.
and kind of what I thought he was going to do here, because he doesn't have a whole lot of options, spend one of his 2 last tactics in order to activate his home system, build with 3 resources, and
I wanted to build more than
that's
that.
probably
It
going to
was
be about
straight
it for
out
his
after
round
that.
2.
By the way, so don't give me the 1.
Cool, thank you. I'm just gonna use this and build 1 exo. And turn.
Combine, whatever
Whatever
the heck the name of that planet is.
I'm
Winnu.
going
Very creative
To do
fantasy flight.
nothing.
Gonna use Winnu and Sarween in order to add a Dreadnought to the board, which
Alright,
brings
you
it
got
over
sound
to
space
Wham
across
Dog,
my
who
home
passes,
What's going on
and then
here?
back to Mantis here.
I'll never tell. No, I don't have inside space. Besides, I don't need non-home planets right now.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Map Dreadnought in.
All right, so Chaos Map has now produced at least 3 Dreadnoughts for Mantis. He's adding a third to the board
Attack you first.
on
you
Mole Primus. Now, what he's spending must be some trade goods here. I'm not sure where he's getting the 4 resources.
Hey,
He
listen,
did.
man,
He
there's
spent,
also extra
he
triremes on the
spent
table.
a
I only need 1 planet.
bunch of
so
trade goods.
There's options.
He
here,
really,
so
it was a
we
feint,
can negotiate
saying, "Oh, I
if
need
you'd
these
like.
trade goods so that I can score the trade good objective." When really, I'm just gonna drop more
if you don't have
dreadnoughts on the
space,
board and
we
take
don't
your
need to
land for
negotiate,
that
so-
easy
Yeah, I don't.
6
I
planets
mean, it's
point, and then
literally
spend
basically
those
taking
resources
at
on the
least one of
8
these planets and
resource
taking this planet,
objective.
right.
Well, you can absolutely do nothing about it. So he's going to also activate Zobot Melon,
Oh my
and then he's going to upgrade that cruiser
gosh,
into
bro.
a 4th Super
See?
Dread 2.
And-
4 Super Dread 2s for
and
Mantis
really,
here.
and this is why
only
nobody
have 2
likes
fleets
the
now? Okay.
Mantis, right? This is the reason nobody really can stand him. It's because he does stuff like this. He
I'm gonna
he
follow.
breaks the game. He pulls all the tricks out the bag, and then he gets 9 points and loses to me. He does it almost every game, and nobody can stand it. So it's just more of the same that we're seeing from Mantis.
More of the same.
This
Typical,
typical
classic
Mantis.
Mantis.
Classic 9-point Mantis. That's his middle name.
So I think we saw a pass out of... So Arwise went after Mantis there. I didn't see him take any action. He ended his turn very quickly. Perhaps it was an Imperial pop?
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
yeah.
it was an Imperial
Popped
pop.
Imperial. He gets the free vote.
So
free
let's
point.
go ahead and update the tracker there, actually.
And you know what? That has a lot of value. I mean, after the round's done, like and sometimes as a spectator, you can't see the inner workings and the plans going on in their head. So he takes Imperial, flies out to Mecatol Rex, takes it, and it looks like he did replace that destroyer with a dreadnought, which I felt like was a better build. When all was said and done, what it does prevent him from doing is building when he hits low door.
All right, what are you doing,
So
Matt?
that's
This is
what
it.
he's
We're
coughing
gonna
up.
find out.
But then he gets a point, which is worth more than what he
Sounds
would have
so
gotten
jerky.
out of either diplomacy or warfare.
Well, he was looking
Diplomacy
at a
gasses
carrier
up the rest of the
earlier,
board too
now
much.
Super Dreadnought.
Right.
Warfare, maybe I
It's
can't do
not
enough
even
with.
that,
So
it's
let me
the
just
new
go ahead and get this
secret
point.
makes me have to think
So we
about
hear a
it.
little backtracking here from Se7en. He's actually now gone back on what he said prior and is now commending the Imperial strategy card pick of
It's a good pick.
Arwise.
It turned out to be an okay pick. I wouldn't have done it, but I'll tell you what I would have done would have been a good pick too. He could have made do with warfare as well.
So interesting though, we do now see Scooter attempting to
Oh, I just realized there's nothing I can do because I can't destroy the.
fight
Can't destroy your ship's
Snorcerer here,
capacity.
and Snorcerer has not passed, but
That's
honestly has nothing to retaliate with, and he's just gonna lose more planets. He lost some planets to Mantis. Now he's gonna lose some
yeah. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
can
Some
always
more-
drop some ground forces. Like I can pop your
Right.
carrier.
some more
and that's
ground
good.
to Scooter here.
There's
and
also
absolutely
some
nothing
when
he
I
can
kill
do.
This, Dreadnought in one round of hits.
Down as
I-
one.
Yeah.
Ruffian's teasing you a do in chat here.
What'd he say?
That's
So the
insane.
gravity drive was used on the space dock, so the carrier cannot go. So looking at the other stuff, let's see. I need to think about the capacity. of
Yeah,
it.
they really people just detest
Turn
Mantis
them over.
for how frequently he gets
I
to
know
9
what I should
points
have
and
done
loses
instead
to
of
me.
building my
They
home.
can't stand it.
So not a completely foregone conclusion in this battle here, unless he wants to move some more units over.
He's rethinking this because the Exo Triremes really does change things. He thought that it was a dread. He was going to go in there and just mop up. But now the difficulty is, how much...
Remind me, because I'm an idiot right now and not thinking about it. He picks the 2 ships he destroys with Exo.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
And that's the thing about extra trireme. It makes you think
But the
about
thing is,
things.
Right.
if I do that, your space dock
Right.
Now-
survives with the
I'm
ground
like
workers on
almost
it.
better, but I
In case
can't.
anybody in chat isn't
We have
aware,
covering enough ships to kill the
in
extra
order for
trireme.
exotrireme to go off, you have to survive first contact.
Yes.
So the Dreadnought does have to live through the first round of combat, and then you have to elect to destroy it yourself. If he gets destroyed, so essentially if he's able to inflict 2 hits during the first round, then he doesn't have to worry about
Because I lose the
exotrireme.
space combat, right?
So essentially, I think that Scooter is okay here. He just needs to make sure to bring enough to reasonably guarantee a couple of hits. Now, after Scooter does this, he also does have some resources worth of planets left to go ahead and produce at that space dock, making it defended and not having to worry about somebody coming in and
Exactly.
eliminating it after the fact.
Yeah, and this is tough. I mean,
One more thing. I really wish I had Cruiser 2 right now. That'd be. Oh boy, would that be dandy.
because it's. I mean, say you roll
I
around
really need to
and
send
just
2.
whiff.
He's sending you some PMs too,
Oh,
Ruffians want me to let you know.
oh.
But yeah, exactly. You know, because you're moving in here with what? You got a cruiser. Well, his
Oh, yeah.
cruiser isn't even a 50-50. That's a 40 to hit on this cruiser from Scooter. Then he's trying to pick one of these 20% shots from this destroyer or the fighters that he chooses to move in.
2v1 is
Right?
I mean, I have excess.
So-
I think you bring. I think you bring the 2 fighters because like you can't lose the dock. More so than needing to take the planet and get the point.
Time like this when I wish I had
It's
that
more
chaos
important that you
method,
not
but
lose
I
that
don't.
dock.
Yeah, and Se7en, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Ginger brings up a good question. Exotrireme can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy the space dock," right?
No,
Yeah.
the space dock only qualifies as a
You're
ship
supposed to play new
while
factions,
it is
you're not
actually
supposed
in
to
the act of
cast mapping
moving.
space factions.
So
What
for
exactly
exotrireme to pop, you're in combat. The space dock is no longer a ship.
1-2.
But it looks like Welland is important enough for Scooter to grab, which does make sense because if he is able to grab this planet, he would qualify for the 6 non-home planet objective, so he's no doubt looking to score that. And like we predicted at the beginning of the game, with that vast void around Mecatol Rex, round 2 very early in this game, it is creating a lot of conflict between these players, seeing some very significant battles already in this game.
So as long as I do
Funny
it
enough,
during
though,
combat, which is
not
the
all
only
of
time I
that
can do it.
Yeah.
friction or
Okay, I think this is what
aggression
I'm
or
sending.
has
This is
been
it. 2 destroyers,
against
3
neighbors.
fighter,
It's been
3
against
ground forces.
largely it's the neighbors
Start
saying
combat, I
I'm
will
not gonna
play
mess
that
with you,
fighter
except for
prototype.
Mantis,
I don't
right?
love it, but I'm doing it.
I'm not gonna mess with you too
Alright.
much.
Doing that fighter.
I'm gonna go this way, right? But there has been conflict, and like I said, you know, these planets are right up in people's
Nope.
faces, so there's no way around it.
I do not. I'm ready for combat. I'm not declaring retreat.
Okay, I hope this works.
All right,
Let's see,
so
this is an interesting battle. I mean,
it looks like he's finalizing here. Yep, here we do. We see the roll, so he's only bringing in a cruiser, 2 destroyers, and a fighter. The exotrireme does go ahead and score a hit. Let's see this roll
and he's
from
got
Scooter.
Scooter's
It's
gotta
kind of a
score
big deal.
hits.
Now, he played fighter prototype.
What?
My
Shield
boy.
holding.
It sounded like you said the F
Shield
word.
holding.
He played fighter prototype.
Yeah.
He played fighter prototype.
Oh, and then a
Anybody?
shield
Yours?
holdings come out.
I'll
Really?
do it for your support.
Oh,
I don't have my support. Anything else?
To block
Nah,
the
I don't
first
have
2
that.
How much
hits
would
of the
you pay?
combat.
he played fighter prototype on only 1 fighter there. I think that's a mistake personally. I
Yeah,
get
I
why
would've-
he did it.
I would have brought the 2
But-
fighters as well. I mean,
Yeah, if you're gonna play fighter prototype, you don't just bring 1 fighter.
I'm playing it no matter what.
If you're gonna play fighter prototype,
Nobody's got it.
you
Okay,
know,
great. This is
you
really
bring
fun.
2 ground forces
Wonderful.
and 2 fighters instead of 3 ground forces.
Are you?
And then we saw, as you stated, a Shields Holding come out
Why not?
from
Win
Snorser
this
here. A pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Super fucking thrilled. This is the best. This is the best shit.
And then we're moving into another round of combat. I guess he doesn't choose to exotrireme. And really, why would you?
Hey,
buddy, let's do this.
Go fuck yourself. This is fun.
Another hit from the exotrireme. And then we're going to be looking for Scooter to roll here as well.
Can you edit that out of the stream, please?
I totally agree with you, Ginger. Totally agree. Matt making some interesting decisions. I mean, I originally questioned his decisions on that deal with TG Welch. I took it back though because he got so much out of it. Even though it was a support swap, I was a little bit surprised by that. So we have one hit here. The cruiser misses. The destroyer does indeed hit.
And like him not hitting.
Right, because if green gets a hit, it doesn't matter if you get a hit or not.
Yeah. So
Type in that too.
I'm gonna. Actually, you know what?
TG said to me,
Oh,
"Can you
declare
edit
retreat
that out
to-
of the stream?" I think
Nah.
someone said a curse word,
Did he?
and I said I don't know how to edit
Anyone have a morale
streams.
boost? Morale boost.
Oh, that's funny.
White. PG does.
All right, so we only have a cruiser against
Yeah,
a...
this is awesome.
GG.
Now,
Alright,
if
fine.
both of them hit,
Well,
green
I'm
wins.
in a predicament.
If only green hits, green wins. If only blue hits, that's the only scenario in which blue really
It also
wins,
buys
because then the
filter
space dock gets blown up and can't land.
Which takes us to something. Oh no, because even if he exo-triremes here, then the space dock is just sitting there completely fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he can't exo-trireme
If they
here.
both miss, you mean?
Yeah, yes,
Then
please.
blue goes for another round. Blue's
Right,
betting
well,
on
I'm saying
missing.
blue could exo-trireme right now, but it's not going to do
I
anything
think
for
I need
him,
it. Yeah, I'll take
because
the
then
trade
he
just
just
for morale
lands 3
boost if
ground
you got
forces
it.
on Welland.
Do not wanna
So obviously that's not a choice
So
for
what?
Snorser here.
No, I really want to win
Skilled
this.
retreat.
I really want to see if I really would like to hopefully get lucky here. The skilled retreat. I think I'm taking the risk.
got it. You're gambling. I like it.
Yeah.
So
whatever,
yeah,
fuck
he's
it.
betting the
Franken,
farm on
trade-
being able to
trade
hit
game.
with this cruiser.
Yeah.
Wow, he's gonna so he fighter prototyped one fighter.
Yeah.
Now he's morale.
Morale
Now he's morale boosting one cruiser. So played.
That was evil.
Wait,
What happened?
did somebody sabotage his morale boost? I think he paid for a morale boost, played it, and then the morale boost he played it for one cruiser, and then it was sabotaged.
Who played a sabotage?
So in this one combat between A Dread and some other guys,
This is right.
you had a shield holding, morale boost, fighter prototype, and sabotage played in one
go.
combat.
Oh my god! And then the exo trireme hits,
And the cruiser
misses.
misses.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
Wow.
Oh my god!
Holy
Who
cow.
saboed that morale boost?
I think it was Snorser, because Snorser said he had a sabotage.
And it wouldn't have even mattered anyway because he rolled a 5.
Holy cow. I really
so
wish
on
he had
my
brought that
turn,
extra
I'm
fighter
actually gonna
and
play
taken the
Reactor
2-on-1 eyes on the
Meltdown,
ground.
Matt.
Oh my gosh. And now, Snorser is
brutal.
playing Reactor Meltdown on Matt
Oh my god! What?
to melt down his other space dock. And his game is over.
Oh my god!
Oh,
He's
good God in
obliterated.
heaven. I feel like
Fucking touch me, buddy.
I feel
Oh my
like
God.
now.
Is it blue playing or-
Matt. Condolences.
It's me
Now-
playing it.
Lucky enough for Matt, he's fortunate enough to have made a support for the throne swap to TG Welch, his neighbor
could
to
be
the
argued
right.
I did.
So
which
he
is
doesn't
gonna-
have to worry about Welch.
He won't have to worry about getting eliminated right now.
Right, but it is.
Wait, no. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait,
Don't you
what?
dare say that. Don't you dare say it cost you a lot. I will fucking throw you out a window.
Oh my god.
Somebody not happy.
Hey, Matt. Matt, take your medicine.
Oh my gosh. What a turn of events.
All right, man.
I can't even believe it.
Oh,
Um,
Deal you offered me.
Go eat some valerian.
Does he have
and
cruiser?
grapefruit.
Does he have
Two
carrier 2
trade
here?
goods.
Oh.
Hey, Matt. You also got some extra fighters above Techron Torcon that need to be rectified.
No, he's good. He's good.
Yellow.
Is he good?
Does he?
Is he good?
Buy your trading
Yeah.
agreement.
He's good.
Watch
No,
one
he had to
of
destroy
these.
some fighters.
I'd be paying
Oh,
one.
did
Yeah,
he?
he did.
I can only watch one at this point. 'Cause I only have one.
Yeah, he
Ugh.
had. I think he had about 6 fighters in the air.
Oh my god. Just absolutely
Can you just give me the box?
smacked.
How much do I get?
Snorser saving.
So I'd be buying it for-
See, even when you don't qualify, you got Mantis taking your planets after you were supposed to have made a deal. I'm sure that feels good for Snorser.
Yeah.
That's gotta
Wow.
feel good. That's why you play. That's why you play TI4
why you
for
play
those
it.
moments.
Just so you can crush somebody else's dreams.
Those moments make this game worth it.
Wow. That was That was huge.
That was incredible.
And it was so appropriate that Snorcer's turn was immediately after. So he was like, bang, there goes your dock. Your life's over. Oh, you still have a life? There goes that one too. All of your
I'm
extra
sorry. Were
lives
you
are
holding
gone.
on to a little bit of hope here, Matt?
Hey, you know what you can have left though? Is a couple of carriers on the board, and that's it.
Lose some fighters, lose both of your floating factories.
You just get my trading.
So he does have 2 points still, but it's gonna be quite a path back to be competitive for a victory on this game.
Wow.
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 Do that.
Yeah, Seven's definitely pouring some salt on it here, ruffians. All right, and with that, Seven's gonna take over for a couple of minutes.
So I'll give you my trade agreement.
No, I think we're cool. I'm just gonna stay over here. Maybe we'll zoom out so they can just see the whole board while I'm... Man, this computer's nice. I am gonna sit in it. Alright. Yeah, those 2 space docks, the loss of those docks. Now, you know, I just really feel terrible for Wham Dog here. I really hope he can... I don't think sitting next to Arwa...
And, I don't want to
or,
overshare,
not,
but
sorry, I feel bad
there
for
will be a
Scooter.
poop break coming up.
I
I
feel
got
like
halfway into it, and I was
Mantis
like, ah,
is
shit.
going to
Well,
capitalize on that. It's probably going to take
usually
Tekron
get that.
Torcon and...
Every time, dude. It's like clockwork. I love kombucha because it's just like, oh, you want poop?
But,
You want to be a good one?
But man, that's
Come on.
just rough stuff.
Drink.
Rough stuff. All right, so talk to me, streamers, stream peeps.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to
Kombucha.
see? What do
That's
you want
it's
to talk
called.
about?
Man, halfway through this round. No, he's still here. I can see his hand moving around.
Yeah, no, he's here. I just think he's muted because he needs to catch his breath.
Yeah. Give him a sec. Give him a sec.
Yeah, thoughts on the tourney map. So the tournament map, I like the map, okay. But what
No.
makes the map go, I
Give
think,
us
is the
3
draft
more.
prior
Just let
to
him
the
get it
ban
out.
and
Just let him
drafting
get it out. It's healthy.
of the races.
Just
Prior
For
to
the kids at home,
really
if you ever wonder how
make
streaming a game
the map,
affects
I think,
the
what it is.
gameplay
And in
of the
fact,
game.
I really just think I
I
like
probably wouldn't
the
have
draft
done that.
method. If you're going to use that kind of a banning and drafting system,
probably
Um,
wouldn't have played that reactor meltdown
I
if
like
we weren't
it.
on stream.
I
But
I
yeah, I
prefer.
had to.
PG, I can't.
I mean,
take
I think it's
offense
great
from
when
you
some of those
because
high-powered
Mantis
races like
is
Jonar and
stupid.
Soul and
It's
whatnot
funny,
get
'cause
on
I
the
was
board
really
just because
scared
they
the
make
reactor
the
meltdown
games,
on me this
fairly
round,
exciting.
and I'm
But yeah, it's a
thankful
solid map. I think they
that
worked out
this
some
all played
kinks
out the way that it
early
did.
on. The Aaron M, Mir,
Yeah.
Lazar,
Open
Saklag,
given him
Starpoint New Albion
kind of
system was like mad strong, like too strong because it could do every objective that you needed. It could score.
I had planned
But
on,
they
I had
made
planned on
some
playing the reactor
tweaks,
meltdown
and
on
yeah, I played on it
the space dock.
I've
that was
actually
here
only played
after
on
he
it
attacked Mantis,
one time,
but he went for
and
me.
I got Jonar in the worst, in like the white slice, terrible slice, but won with Jonar, of course. But I've watched a lot of games on it, and I think right now it strikes a really good balance between, there's some action and conflict, but
wanna
it
come up
doesn't
with
go overboard. So I think it's
a
tasteful.
game, like
Yeah.
an actual game that is
Hey,
sort of
Jaybird.
like this.
Thanks,
Like
man.
a
I love
game
seeing
built
me
from
on
the ground
stream
up to be
too.
like,
Yeah,
just-
that is designed to be drafted from the start.
yeah, like a variable faction ability game
Yeah.
where you're building your own alien race. Like basically
Matt
like
says
Cosmic
he's been
Encounter,
screaming
but-
for 7 minutes.
Yeah, but you draw.
And I
three.
don't think you should stop.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You
that
draw
I
three
don't
and
know
you
that I've
draft and
ever
have all three
seen
abilities. That's actually
a
that's
guy
like
go
new
from
house rule
hero
for
to
Cosmic
zero
Encounters, I guess.
so
Yeah.
fast.
I'm
and
gonna
so
try that
hard.
next time.
God,
he
it would be
flew
so
too
crazy if
close
somebody
to the
was
sun.
masochist and then like a
You
bunch
know?
of other stuff.
And,
That would be really weird. God, I love Cosmic.
And
I've
he got
been wanting to play
burned.
Cosmic for a long time,
Just
and
like
I played
Icarus.
my first game last weekend,
Ooh.
and I drew 2 races. The race that I drew were like the cudgel.
So
and
what
the
happened,
sorcerer, and I kind of had to take the sorcerer. 'cause,
Matt, Scooter here,
makes
green
sense.
slice, moved one of his floating factories
whole game, I
and some ships
swapped.
over here to fight
Every
this
time
Exo
I
Trireme
fought-
and Titus
I fought, I
Welland.
put down a
But, and
negotiation
he
and
played a
swapped.
fighter prototype
And the
on one
time I
fighter.
didn't do that. The other guy put a 0.
He ended up
expected
losing
to
that
win
fight
anyways.
to a shields holding and a
He expected
sabotage
me
on
to
a
swap,
morale
and I
boost.
didn't- to swap, and I
And
didn't.
got
He
his
just, like, he
dock
reacted
eliminated.
pretty much like Matt
Then
did.
Snorcer immediately reactor meltdowned his other floating factory,
I love
so that he reduced them to no
love Falcon so
factories.
I wish they would.
They were just
There's too many expansions for it.
non-existent
right now, that's the only
factories
thing I don't like about
at that
it.
point.
I have one more.
So yeah,
activation.
that was a hard fall right
I
there.
will enter.
Yeah, Matt's in some trouble. I mean, he does have some ships on the board. He's not
I've
really
passed
worried
for
about
so long now.
being eliminated, but having a possibility at actually winning this game, that's another proposition entirely.
Yeah, I can tell you what's highly probable for him is taking construction. Because he doesn't really have any other choice.
Right. And where's Speaker sitting? Well, he's 4 spaces away from the Speaker.
Alright,
He-
swarm up.
He passes here, so it looks like with that, we are at the end of round 2.
6 non-home
Now, we will obviously have the
I'm gonna
agenda
do 8
phase,
resources. I have to flip my home system and 3 trade goods, but I
and then there are some scoring opportunities going on here.
oh.
Now, how did Welch get to 4? He
I guess
Well, he
I-
got a
scores the
support.
8 resources.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the 5 trade goods.
Yeah.
So
He has a Mecatol Rex point for taking Mecatol Rex, then 2 public objectives and a support for the throne.
This dude.
right, and then let's see. We are looking at R-wise. Which token is representing R-wise
Arwise
here?
is going to be Hakan's token,
Without
so
pass.
he has only scored the 1 Imperial point for popping Imperial on Mecatol Rex.
Okay, and then we're looking at 2 points. Who's represented by the Soul token?
Soul is Mantis, and which is a white player, and he has
Who's
scored Control 6 planets.
Okay, so
no,
we have
everyone's
6 planets
scoring
for
now, you can
Mantis,
have frigates.
And I'll get the 6 more too.
and then there we go.
Arwise has
And
also.
then I guess he also scores the secret 2 faction text.
Oh, technically the way the agenda, but
Yep.
2 faction texts.
And Arwise has also scored to spin 5 trade goods just now, so he's up to 2.
Next objective.
Is
And then we have 3 points for who's the Sardak token?
Sardak is.
That's Matt,
That is, yeah, Matt.
and he scores 8 resources as well.
And he also has a support.
Yeah.
And he also has a
I
support.
think, I think there,
So we are missing.
with the action cards, there is kind of a like.
Wait up. No, okay.
First,
So we've
weird
got
trades
4,
and
3,
things, it's
2,
always
2,
gonna
1,
be
1.
statistically higher chance
4,
that
3,
people throw out weird
2.
shit against you, I feel like.
Mantis, and then 2 for
2 for Arwise and 2 for Mantis.
R-Wise. What are R-Wise's
Arwise's points are 1 Imperial point and 1 negotiating trade routes. Spinning 5 trade goods.
Okay. 4,
What are
3,
these trade goods do?
4, 3, 2, 2.
1
think somebody
1
spent those on
is
something.
going to be Barony and
I
L1Z1X,
think- Yeah, no,
which
these are the ones
are.
that I dropped through the table earlier
Snorcer is L1Z1X,
when I was scoring
which
my,
Okay.
is blue, sorry.
So
So
he also spins trade
scoring
goods.
my
Yep.
victory for,
blue
my public-
negotiated trade routes, and that is all.
And then and Wham Dog is represented by the Barony token for 8 resources.
What's that?
Oh, these should actually.
Barony has also spent 8 resources, yeah. And we're going to have our first agenda phase.
Okay, is that correct? 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's good.
Got Galactic.
And then the new objective revealed was
Can't
2
vote?
texts
Yeah,
in 2 colors.
Oh yeah, we're doing. I forgot we got to do that.